Hello friends, I'm back again to share or to continue my line of thoughts which I started in my last video, and I want to focus this video on the educational sector or industry in Africa. Something happened in the late 1990s in Latin America. There was this community called Choluteca that had this frequent storm, and as a result it affected their business trade. But there was this river in particular that was a connection between two towns, and they needed to find a way to connect them to help their business trade. A Japanese company was hired to help build a bridge, in fact a suspended bridge. This bridge was built to withstand any storm. In other words, the bridge was built to last. It was commissioned in 1998, and that same year there was a storm. The storm came, and guess what happened? The bridge actually that was built to last actually withstood the storm. But guess what? Let's say we have the bridge from point A to point B, from here to here. So it connects people from this side and connects them to this other side, and you have the river going under. The storm came, the bridge, in fact in the entire vicinity, every other bridge was collapsed and destroyed except this particular one. But guess what happened? The bridge withstood it. From here to here the bridge was still there, but the river that was going under had moved to the side. So the bridge was standing alone, leading nowhere. At the time of the construction, this bridge was called the Rising Sun. But after the storm, the bridge was named the bridge that leads nowhere, because it was just standing alone. There was nothing under. The direction and the move of the river had been moved to another location, and then the river was standing alone by itself. Or sorry, the bridge was standing alone by itself. And I'm starting my line of thoughts, or pushing further my line of thoughts, from the songs of one of our most famous singers in Africa. And that line states, "Teacher, don't teach me nonsense." I think that's Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Our educational system in Africa needs to be looked at. How do we teach our children in schools? What do we teach our children in schools? We teach them what to think and not how to think. And with this, because they are taught what to think, if there is anything outside the box of what they have been told to think, they go blank. They lead nowhere. They are useless to themselves and to the environment where they find themselves. So my challenge and my plea is this: can we take a second look at our educational system in Africa and begin to include certain curriculums and subjects? See, the rich folks of this world, some of them don't send their children to regular schools you and I attended, or that every other average person attends. They send their children or their kids to special schools. Take for example Elon Musk. His kids are not attending the regular usual school. They attend special schools. These kids are being taught certain things that you may never find in any regular school. And that's why I'm pushing this challenge forth to the authorities and those who have the privilege, the control and the power to influence the educational sector in Africa. Let's find how to get some influence and some impact done around this sector to influence what our children are taught, to influence what our children are thinking about. Let's include certain curriculum around design thinking outside the box, how they can be self-reliant and build certain things around themselves, and even things that does not exist. There are these two management books that I read some years ago, and one of them is Built to Last. Built to Last. Now, well, okay, before that, I first of all read Good to Great. Good to Great is an account of companies that were average or were doing exceptionally by themselves. They were doing well. All right. So these were companies that were good, but within a period of time, they actually exceeded expectation and then excelled. Now, to wrap this up, I want to talk about two books that I read some years ago that is very relatable to what I'm talking about. The first book, Good to Great, is an account of companies that were doing well by themselves. But then within the period of time, a century, they were moved from just an ordinary company, a regular company, to a great company. What they did, what separated them and differentiated them from the companies of comparison. Good to Great. Then I read another book, Built to Last. These were companies that were built to outlast their founders, the founding management team that withstood certain challenges and situations that came across their other competitors, and those ones crumbled. Built to Last. I'm still thinking about, and I'm still looking for a book titled Built to Adapt. And that's my challenge to the educational sector. If we can train our kids, if our teachings, our curriculums could help our children not just to be good to great or built to last, but built to adapt, such that wherever they find themselves, we don't know what other pandemic or whatever crisis that is going to be global in another 50 years, in another 100 years, where this knowledge can be passed to them and to the generations after. Built to adapt wherever they find themselves. Economic situation, financial situation, it could even be a time of war. They can adapt. Built to adapt. Here is my challenge to the educational sector of Africa. I hope these ideas I've shared, well, bear in mind that all the things I've shared in these two videos are just my own idea, my own thoughts, and I've nurtured them for some time now, and I felt it's about time to get them out, and share my thoughts with my African brothers and sisters. Subsequent, feelings I have or ideas I have around this, I will definitely not hesitate sharing them. And then I also look forward to your comments, your thoughts on what I've said. You can criticize what I've said, you can agree with what I've said. These are my opinions, they are not the truth. So you want to also share your idea, and then let's see how we can learn from each other and see where this leads us to. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, comment, like, and then I'll definitely respond to as many comments as possible that I can respond to. Thank you so very much, and be well.